Talkers, to another episode of Pillow Talk Sin in the City. It's your girl, Truth, and I got my little wench, Casey, with me. Miss JaKCson, if
What
you're nasty.
What has to be wench, though?
Because you are. You started with me. Y'all didn't get to hear the first intro, but she started with me this morning. She tried it, so that's why. But hopefully
she really
loves
you. Me. Like I was about to say. She really loves me, though.
But today we already kind of let you know what we're going to dive into, and it'll be our double standards. We have a lot of things to touch on, so it's not just the things that, you know, most people think with. Of course, we'll touch on body count, and we'll talk about the flirting, but we have some other topics we want to talk about. It'll get a little serious, but we have some awesome guests to join us, so you guys don't think it's one-sided today. Go ahead and introduce yourself, gentlemen.
In the house.
It's Big Los of the Noize, one half of the dynamic duo. What's going on, Pillow Talkers, Beat Freaks, the chocolate teddy bears in the building.
Chocolate teddy bear.
Go ahead and take that.
That velvety voice.
So I got to praise Rick Ross for bringing this cool back because we went out of style like light-skinned niggas for a little bit. So,
and you got the beard.
And we got this.
Yeah.
And his beard is actually like on point, ladies, but he's taken, but you can enjoy the voice.
There you go.
There it is. Lost Thoughts here. I was featured on a couple episodes of Noize, but here on the Pillow Talk land, they call me 50 Shades.
50 Shades. Yeah, that is 50 Shades.
That is, he is definitely 50 Shades, ladies. But all right, so we'll go ahead and get started and dive in. I want to touch on body count, double standards. So Miss Casey has a lot to say about this one, so I'm going to let her start us out.
You always say I have a lot to say.
But you do, because nobody reads our text messages but me. So, ma'am, with the body count, do you really feel like we've gotten better with the double standards, or do you really think it's still a big issue with the amount of people that women or men have slept with?
Females are still considered hoes, I feel like, and in the day of feminism, and, you know, we're supposed to be celebrating our bodies and open with them and such. It's just, that's not what it is, especially with men. Don't let a female been around the block. Like, it's an issue. It's a problem. But if a guy is out there tooting and booting and spreading everything, then he's a pimp. He's a G.
I hope he's not
a
spreading everything.
I mean,
y'all don't be out there spreading everything. I just got a horrible visual when you said spreading everything.
You know, they're supposed to spread their oats, you know, and
don't be spreading oats.
That's the old saying, you know, that they're supposed to. And then the girl, you can't. He doesn't want to buy the chicken. No, buy the cow if he can get the milk for free.
Got it.
So I don't know. What do you think?
You know what? I guess if I get out of my own experience and then look at just how it is around, yeah, it's still a double standard for sure. I think women are learning now to be more discreet, and the amount of partners they have, if it is a lot, keep them away from each other. Don't sleep in the same circle. Kind of take little out of town trips. Do a little out of town thought and bopping, and then that way you can still come back to
different area codes.
Yeah, come back to your hometown and play, you know, little Sweet Susie like nothing ever happened.
Out here dropping gems. The keys, people, the keys.
Cross state lines to do your hoeing is what she's saying.
Absolutely. Then that way you come back home and they still think you only slept with Lil Johnny. They still wondering who's gonna be next after Lil Johnny, because ain't nobody else talked about you except Lil Johnny. But they don't know that Billy and Bob and Jack and Jim and Arkansas.
This is a very rural area.
You're going to Nebraska.
Billy Bob from Butte, Montana.
I mean, there might be some awesome Billy Bobs. You never know. How do you feel, gentlemen?
Did you want to go first?
Brother, she has to have at least 5 to 10 bodies already. That is my minimum count. If you slept with less than 5 to 10 cats, I can't even converse with you.
So you want more? You want more experience?
Absolutely, because if you deal with me and anybody that has dealt with me, you understand. I don't like teaching and being your first break open cat. I don't like it because it comes with an emotional piece of this. That maybe when we start having sex, we're not looking for that. That's not what we want. And so I come with a lot of experience. My count's a little higher than most. So if I've met a couple women in my range. And I love them all. They awesome to me. So
no judgment? No
judgment. Man, like I'm the last person that can judge anybody.
But you're rare.
Yeah, like Mr. Clean with hair.
Absolutely. And you,
Big Los?
Basically the same thing. If you actually have the body count, cool. But my biggest thing is being honest with it. You know, to quote,
are y'all telling the truth though?
Reverend Dr. Jermaine Cole. If she says she only fuck like 4 or 5 niggas, you gotta multiply by 3. When it comes down to the body count, it's never how many dudes you have, or how many females you have. It's about your honesty with it.
No limit.
Exactly. You just do you. Because if you're single, be single. Indulge. That's what you're supposed to do when you're single. I know the Bible says something different, but indulge while you got the opportunity. If you're in a relationship, that's where that shit cuts off. Take all that energy that you dedicate to a rotation and focus on that one person. A relationship sex, some of the best sex ever. Like, we can do whatever the fuck we want to.
We can try all kind of things.
Anything.
Amen.
There's no judgment whatsoever because this
Yes.
person decided to be with you and all your freaky ways.
Right.
And you just go from there.
Because then if you accidentally do some relationship sex with a single person and you single, like, they're like, what you doing Saturday? Who you been talking to? Why you didn't answer my text messages?
Parked
I called
outside
you like
the
4
house.
times. You must be fucking another nigga. Bruh.
That's what you text a picture of the ring finger.
What
Like,
else?
Let's relax just a little bit.
I ain't even got a promise ring in this
That
motherfucker. You ain't got to be
part.
asking me shit.
It wasn't even you can call it a birthday ring. It ain't gonna get I don't have any ring from you, kind sir. So let's not ask all those questions. That's another double standard. I'm glad we got there. With guys, when you're dealing with a female, even if you are sleeping with a lot of other women, you expect this woman to only
Be
sleep with you.
exclusively yours.
I'm so confused. And I'm not saying that you two are this way,
No.
but in my day,
The argument was definitely
I
coming.
met
Not at all, please,
a lot
no.
of men that are like, if we're going to be doing this, you can't be out here, sleeping with anybody else. And I'm like, but why?
I don't think
It's
that's
an
just
ego.
men.
Because you are.
Yeah, it's an ego thing. A man never wants to feel in competition with another man, especially because he may be built different. You know what I'm saying? He may
So
be
he's hitting that
satisfying
different?
other parts of you that I can't touch. So I don't want you sleeping with nobody else. It never really ever comes down to being sexually safe. It's just more of I just don't want nobody else in my pudding where I stick my spoon, you dig? For
But
me,
you're sticking that spoon in so many other
Exactly.
puddings. You
That's
like
what I'm saying.
tapioca.
Right.
You
I
got,
mean,
come on now,
vanilla.
vanilla
I'm
swirl.
a Greek yogurt man myself. Okay, we eat healthy out here. But I like my women to, if you're going to date and mess around with other cats, just tell me. I like to have the heads up because I love to eat pussy. So I'm not going to put my mouth on you if you're getting stuck by a bunch of different cats, especially if we fucking raw.
That was my wife.
Let's keep it all the way honest. If we smashing raw, you can't convince me.
There's a different trust there.
Everybody
There's a way
else
different
is
trust
wrapping up, and I'm
Right,
smashing
right.
raw.
Right.
So I'm not going to put my mouth on you. And that's kind of my favorite thing to do. So I at least like to know. So I know that, you ain't getting no head from me.
If you're lying about, all these other bodies, what else are you lying to me about? What did you just get done cleaning up with yourself? Like, it's too many, it introduces too many questions to the scenario when sex should be just as simple as you clean, I'm clean, we fucking, let's go. Like, it should literally
Well,
be
it's all
that
about
simple.
trust, though.
It's all about
that's
trust.
why you have to be open and have these
Have to be.
conversations.
Right.
We're going to be as forward with you as we expect you to be with us. I don't give a fuck if you going to another nigga and you getting dick. Cool, you still came back to me to get dick.
Okay.
This is so refreshing.
Because they have a completely different outlook than
We
what
were
I
just talking about, we're
expected.
always
Yeah.
going to be your worst guest because we're going to be for sure.
By
These are
far.
not your typical brothers.
We're best
okay?
friends for a reason.
Right.
But the thing about it is we can't bring just anybody on this show. So
You're going to hit
will-
some ignorant niggas for sure.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And I don't want them to see that side of truth.
Nah,
I
but
don't-
hey, that's ratings, yo. That's numbers.
I like the
That's
lack of
clicks right
ignorance,
there.
though, in this
I can't
room.
wait for the episode where y'all just tear a nigga down on this
trio.
show.
Go on.
But that's going to be that
trio.
ignorant one. The ignorant one, though. But I like that. You guys are the education shows, I think. You know.
Thank you, Connie.
But
And letting women know that not all men are the same, which is good because we have a lot of bitter women out here in these streets. So I hope that they're listening to our show so they can understand that not all men are made that way. But some of y'all got to get y'all stuff together first.
A lot of y'all got to get
too.
y'all together.
Hey,
Men and women alike.
hey,
Men and women
some,
alike.
Some works. They know who they are. It pricked their heart. They heard me.
I can't
You just
stand
stop
you.
it.
It's the same double standard, though, with
as soon as you
lesbians,
said-
too. They don't want a whole bunch of partners. Like with my wife, she had a girlfriend when I met her, and she wasn't loyal, just exclusively mine, I'll say. And I couldn't mess with nobody else. I had to give up my whole lineup. And don't be a dude. I had to just give up the swipe altogether, because nope, I'm not putting my mouth on that. And you got all kinds, well, I won't say all kinds of penises, but you have any penis in there, it's not happening. So, but she wasn't just mine.
It's a lot of mouth on areas. So yeah, I can understand how it gets a little bit more intense.
But you got a whole bitch at home.
She got a whole bitch. Yeah, I understand. But you said that
you
that was going to be
okay.
okay.
And all of that. No, I never said that was going to be okay.
You started talking to her and she had a bitch.
I had bitches.
Well, she had a bitch.
A whole, she was dedicated
You
in a
came in with a starting
relationship,
five.
living with this woman. I had a couple. I was spreading my oats, testing the waters.
That saying
what's out there.
That's gonna be hilarious.
Spreading the oats.
I gotta sprinkle some over here, see what sprouts.
Out here on her salt babe. I see you. I see you.
That's too funny. What about having male and female friends, or friends of like the opposite sex? How, like, is that not? Because with me, I'll be honest, you guys, I'll go first. With Brandon having female friends, I am very, very funny with that. He's had to cut some female friends off because they won't address me. They will only address him. Even down to Facebook, they will like every picture with just him and ignore it if he has me in it. I know that sounds petty, but as a wife,
no, that's petty.
You're like
that's petty
ignoring me. When they ask how he's doing in his inbox, they don't say, how are you and the family? It's, how are you? Nah, bitch. Ain't no how are you.
You don't acknowledge me up
around
in here.
I need you to learn French. It's we around here. So you need to say, how are you and the family? How's your wife doing? How are your kids? So I'm real picky. His best friend is a female. I love her to death. Sierra. That is his best friend. But she acknowledged me from day one. Like we went and hung out without him. That's why I have a trust for her. But he had a lot of sneaky bitches. And I was like, nope. You can't be friends with her anymore.
Say nay, sneaky bitch.
Right.
However, I'll get defensive if he'll tell me to stop talking to a guy friend.
Oh yeah,
And he'll be like, I'll be like, but they don't even like me like that. No, that's what.
But
you
that's
think.
a nigga. He's got ulterior motives.
Exactly. So
yes.
I only have like one, other than you guys now, because you guys are like family. But I only have like one other male friend that was safe, and that was my boy Fillmore. Because again, he'll call my husband and speak to him first.
Fillmore
and then, yeah.
Shout out to Fillmore.
Yeah, shout out to Fillmore. He's a good dude. But he would call my husband's phone, speak to him first, and then say, let me holler at Wit. So that's like true respect. So that's why he got to stick around. Him and Terrence, all the same. Terrence doesn't really call me anymore, but that's okay. Those two, those are my guys. I am. I definitely am. They probably won't listen to this. They probably won't listen to this show because of the context, but if they do, they know it's real love.
I know his wife, Tasha. She's cool.
Yeah, with her adorable self.
Yeah,
she's so cute.
Yeah.
But what about with you and your missus?
Guys,
I actually was kind of curious. I'm like, being in a lesbian relationship, like, how does that work out?
Because and then with the lesbian community, there's this big thing about being a gold star. So that means you've had no penis in your entire life. You have this gold star vagina, and so
I don't have a gold star.
Apparently, gold star vagina
I had a gold
is
star.
the kicker.
I'll just be a diamond then.
Right, diamond in the rough. But no, gold star means no penises at all. So there's a big thing, especially I think if you've ever been with a male, then I feel like there's a complex. So like either you want a man or they want you. And then it depends on, like you said, there's an acknowledgement factor. And if they acknowledge the fact that you're in a relationship, because a lot of guys don't care, oh, well, can I watch? I'm lesbian too.
And you guys, that shit is so lame. Like, that is the lamest line ever.
Oh, well, can I watch?
It's so whack.
I'm gay too.
Outside looking in, I think the lamest line I've heard that's obviously really consistent with y'all is when you tell them I got a man, it's like, oh, so you can't have friends?
Oh my God, that too.
But you're not trying to be my friend because your initial approach was not to be, your intention was never to be my friend here. So I think what's said, the context of the conversation, the approach, the respect level, all of that is a huge factor in the level of confidence when it comes to male and female friends, because we're females, but we're attracted to females. So, I mean, I say I'm one of the fellas. Y'all say I'm not. Because we looking at the same stuff. So, I mean, I'm looking at an ass too. Most of the time, you know, I'm looking at a bitch. I like titties. I like curves. I like asses. Not that I have anything against an attractive man, but that's not what I'm checking for most of the time.
But with your wife, she knows that you have once upon a time, so I can see why she would be like, it doesn't matter, male
But she
or
has
female.
both friends. She has male friends because, I mean,
well, you know,
she's
she
not
ain't banging her male friends at all. And you know, she's
at
not
all,
checking
not
for them
at all. That's so
not
nasty.
even a little bit.
She hates that I talk about it because, like, really, I just don't want to think about you doing. But I've done this, you know. So it is what it is. But she has this one friend, and she irks my soul because she crosses boundaries, and this is a female. So I mean, females try it too because she hit her up and she's like, "Well, what do I do if I have feelings for someone and I know they're in a relationship, but I've had these feelings for so long?" And she's like, "Well, are you talking about me?" The bitch said yes.
Oh no, them friends that get immediately cut off. Yes, I had to immediately cut off one of Brandon's in the inbox asking why they never worked out. And ma'am, we're not playing 21 questions this evening. I will come across states and fuck you up royally. We are not doing that this evening. And you did it at nighttime.
But this is the same bitch when we were dating. We came to California for another friend's graduation. This bitch came to visit in the hotel room. You see this one bed. There's one bed in this room. There's two of us. You know we came together. So clearly we sleeping in the same bed. Red flag, right? We doing something. Something's going down. She walks her to the car. The bitch kisses her. Granted, we're single, technically. We're not together, but you know something's going on. But she stays pushing these limits, and she's still her friend. Still her friend. Exes as friends. That's a big one, too, especially with males and females. Can your girl remain friends with her exes? Look at you looking around. This is why we need a live feed right now.
With this one, it's a little different. Only because when it comes down to women, at least that the assumption when it comes down to women is that there's at least a pint of respect there because you know that you wouldn't want the same thing to happen to you.
Right.
And it really goes off of the actions of the guy if he's really going to entertain, you know, what she's trying to do. When it comes down to the female having a male friend, I'm not gonna lie, I don't care, but I always have that little bit of, you know, I'm watching you type deal. You know what I mean? And because I'm a guy and I've been the other nigga on so many occasions, I've shook hands with
the boyfriend,
before. Yeah. I don't know, it probably makes me shitty, but
look
whatever.
At this one.
But I know how niggas operate. I know you could tell them all day I have a man, but if they feel like they can still slide, they're going to try to slide. I was that one too, though. Exactly.
From female perspective.
I guess this will be the standard where you're one of the boys, at least at this point. Yeah. But
I would be like, I'm straight and I'm trying to get with your girl the whole time.
If they feel like they can slide, they're going to try to slide. It really comes down to your reaction to it. But all in all, even if you got a nigga that's really trying to get at you like that and there's something about your friendship that you want to keep, you need to let me know when dude is being extra. What
about when it's an ex? Can she remain friends with her exes?
A lot of women that I've dated have exes that I would still be curious as to why you even want to be friends with this nigga. Like, they either cheat.
They're an ex for a reason.
Exactly. They're an ex for a reason. They cheated or put their hands on him or whatever. Like, why you want to be friends with this nigga? It has to be an emotional connection that you still want to maintain that friendship. So that, not really cool with.
But what about a friendship with an ex-girlfriend?
Can y'all do that? Do you have friends, exes who are still friends?
No, I mean her having an ex-girlfriend and still being friends with her.
Absolutely. I'm a no-go on exes across the.
I like that answer.
Just period. And that's a growing point because there's some pillow talkers in the group, so I got to make sure I say what I need to say because they will call me out.
Message.
So when I was younger, I'm very territorial. I used to differentiate between jealous and territorial. Jealous, I envy something that you have that's not mine. Territorial, it's mine. So I don't like my woman to have male friends. Because like Los, I used to be the male friend. Right. I used to be, that's my brother. You know, me and my sister are smashed, you know, saying so to speak. I don't trust the dudes in the circle.
She said me in her phone under bestie, but I had her screaming, oh.
I can't stand her.
So I've been the guy friend, and much like Los said, I've been in guys' houses. They barbecued. I'm eating their food. I smashed your junk. And I know you don't know. I know you don't know because she didn't tell you that. But I'm her best friend. I'm her dude. I don't mess up nobody's current happiness by something that happened in the past. So whatever. So I like people to be up front If you got a male best friend now, I trust you as long as you know, situations where they kind of step over that line, you roll that shit back in. But if cuz get too disrespectful, I'm coming to see him.
Exactly.
I'm very direct person.
Be.
I don't bullshit. I don't tiptoe. As soon as you tell me he did this, like the text messages, I would have been at cuz house. Like I'm at you because that's my woman.
Yeah.
And you know I exist.
Yeah.
So now it's not about her. It's about your respect level for me.
Yes.
Right.
And you can't come in my house. You can't be around my woman no more. So I've had women have to cut off dudes that they've been friends with since middle school, and we grew up together. I don't give a fuck. I was like, if you want to be, if you want to defend that relationship that much, then go be with him. But
what if they apologize?
Yeah,
if he apologizes,
but again, it's one of those.
He just saving face.
Exactly. A lot of guys don't want the friction.
Right.
They want the friction, but they don't want they don't want to fight with me. You know what I'm saying? So.
So they coming in to interrupt the home? Is that where this friction comes from?
Yeah. Okay. Like I don't need your energy in my space, especially if I know you after my girl. Now that's always gonna be in the back of my head. Like I said, I used to be the shady cat on the side. I used to prefer to be the side dude because side dude always knows the whole story.
That so crying shoulder to lean on is the dick to ride on.
Exactly.
That theory.
So I used to be the he's acting up. I don't understand men. I need a male's perspective. Oh, Skyler, I wish he was more like you. You know how easy I done slid in on a. I wish he was more like you.
Creep
conversation,
squad.
baby.
Creep squad.
So now at this age, at where I'm at now. There's levels to this. As long as everybody's respectful and mindful, we're good now. But back in my past, I used to be hostile about it.
Honestly, that's really out of all these conversations with double standards, it's definitely a both sides. Like it happens there, but with this one, it's very much so one sided. Like a dude being the best friend you can't help but to be skeptical about it because there's a reason that y'all got cool. Like. When it comes down to us, we do have female friends that, of course, call us brothers, and we legit look at them as sisters. I know, and that shit fucks with my girl.
I don't trust
often.
that either. That's your sister.
No,
that
but
ain't
hear me out. Hear me out. It's like it's the type of relationships to where they get so caught up in the conversation that boy, you know what I'm saying? Like it's fully caught up in this strictly friendship.
Right.
With dudes, no matter what, however the relationship came about, it's how his mindset is going to be. If he met you just as a straight up friend, all conversation was friendly,
right? He
may actually be a legit person. But if your first approach was he used to flirt with you, he still flirt with you, any of that.
No flirting. Flirtation.
Straight up, exactly.
Okay.
So if that's how he came in, he knows that if you ever presented the opportunity, he is going to fuck. He's going to fuck every time the opportunity is presented.
Okay.
He's like, okay, if you don't care about your relationship, I'm
Why
not going to
should
care about
I?
your relationship.
Well, that's with anything.
Yeah.
That's even the other way with women and lesbians, bisexuals, all of that. If you don't give a fuck about this bitch, why am I going to give a fuck about it?
Why should I? Exactly.
I didn't make that commitment.
Like that.
It's really true with the whole how guys start with a friendship. That's really how it goes. Mm-hmm. Like I said, Brandon has a female best friend, but he has a lot of female, real, legit friends. And it's mostly, his sorority sisters. Mm-hmm. But they legit talk to each other like homeboys. Like, that's just how it is, especially when it comes to the smoking aspect. They talk about, like, how much they used to smoke and, how they used to chill. And I would ask him, I'm always blunt, did you fuck her? And he'll be like, no, never. Like, I would never. Like, his face gets disgusted. You can tell when someone's telling the truth and, like, that's their friend and you just offended them because they see them like family. Right. Like, no, I wouldn't do that. So I've learned to accept the fact that my husband can have female friends, but you have to know to address me.
But what about his exes?
He's not friend with any exes.
But would you allow it?
No.
Is that his choice or no?
No, that's his choice as well. He doesn't feel the need to talk to anyone. He doesn't have too many exes. His last ex was his past fiance, and when they ended.
Right.
I pushed him to reach out to her because I felt like he had kind of an unresolved closure. I need to get this off my chest, maybe even apologize for a few things to her.
Okay.
And so I told him, you should reach out to her. And he looked at me like, for real?
Did he do it?
He did it, and it went well. She was shocked that he spoke. They had a full-blown conversation. They congratulated each other on marriage and families, and that was it. They never spoke again. But they both needed to get those things out. So that was cool.
He's a better man than me because me and my ex broke up damn near 10 years ago. And she reached out to me to apologize last year. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And she's living a good life and everything. She's a minister. She's married. She's doing good. But I'm like, I still don't have words for you.
Right.
So,
And I mean, like I said, it was just something on my heart. He probably wasn't even thinking about it, but I could tell in a lot of his behavior after processing, and I break people down. I like to dissect what the issue really is. And I could tell there was some unresolved words that needed to be had, even if it was small things.
So he's carrying
and
baggage.
once he did it, he changed. He don't know it, but he changed. He became more free. And I just feel like that is, if the conversation needs to be had, it needs to be had.
Right.
Me,
Right.
I didn't have no ex-fiance, no nothing, no close to marriage points, none of that. I had what I thought was a relationship, but we really were just fucking on each other and, you know, calling it we're together. But he didn't respect me at all. There was no real respect level. But, I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends. But, yeah, exes, he's not friends with any of them. However, I'm okay if he feels he needs to get something off his chest, because that's going to help us.
Yeah, because you'll carry some of that with you, and
Absolutely.
it does transfer over those issues into your present relationships.
It definitely does, you guys. So, fellas, before you jump into marriage, if you got any bitterness in you, or you feel like there's still conversations that need to be had, if you can have them, have them. If not, really pray them out and then move on. But don't, you know, hold on to that forever, because it definitely affects you just like it affects women. Women, please do the same shit. Because
before you say how my name is, get that shit together.
We truly harbor a lot of past hurts, and I'm still dealing with my demons. So, yeah, we got to learn to let them things go.
Well, I don't trust these hoes, so you can't
funny.
you can't be friends with. I don't like female friends. I don't like exes, because the ex has slid in, sending text messages, 2 a.m. I know you with your girl, but do you think about me? Type shit. Because I pick up the phone and call. What's up, bitch? She didn't answer the phone. Why you not answering the phone? You sent a text message because I know you're with your girl. So why did you send this text message? I said I've grown. I've grown in my old age, is what I say, because she was all on Facebook and she wasn't out, so everybody knew she was.
Yeah, that's
but
really
no, I
disrespectful.
I don't trust any of them, because yeah, that's your friend. But then, like, when you have that close relationship, some women fall in love. Women are emotional creatures, and we're very nurturing and loving. And then you fall in love with your friend, because then there's the theory that your best friends make the best lovers. So I don't trust it, unless you said it's like that homie factor, but you can tell the dynamic of the relationship.
And women, we discern that shit so fast. I'm trying to tell you, like,
nope, she wants you.
There's a way a woman looks at a man. If it's strictly just friendship, the look is different. There's no twinkle in the eye. There's no, like, real long direct eye contact. That don't happen. Yes. And so, like, with his homegirls, it's real quick, but they speak to me first. That shit matters. Now, little hoes, don't go speaking to these girls first if you're still trying to fuck on.
That's all I gotta do. I gotta tell the bitch hi. Okay.
Hi, it's nice to meet you.
No, it's the way the way that you said it. That's a hoe. Hi, nice to meet you.
So extra.
Yeah,
that mama from Friday. Hey, girl.
That's I'm about to fuck your man. You ready?
Girl, if you only knew.
We can discern that shit too. So just know I'm real swift with my hands. So just don't try it.
She don't play.
Like, don't.
Especially about Mr. Taylor.
At
she
all.
Don't play.
Let's not go
I don't
there.
play about mine either, though.
But what about social media commenting, like compliments more so, or putting hearts on pictures?
Ooh, she tried
now,
it.
I'm bringing this up, because it became real in my household. I'm going to be transparent. It became real.
Mine
because
also.
The hearts were on his pictures, and it was
I
one
did the
person
heart.
over and over and over again.
That's so thirsty.
Wow.
That's thirsty.
Pissed me off to no avail.
That's thirsty.
It's the same slide in the inbox shit.
But is that the one who only liked the pictures without you? Okay.
Exactly.
And they were hearts?
They were hearts.
Oh, she wanted it.
So I had to pretty much slap my own self, because previously there was this random guy that friended me because of the fitness group, and he hearted a lot of my pictures.
So thirsty.
As I was posting about my fitness journey. Now, Brandon doesn't know. I don't know this dude. I've never met him, never seen him, never even had a conversation. I met him in the fitness group. He would post like workouts for, people to do, and I would save a lot of them. So I would thank him, for the workouts, whatever. That's as far as our conversations went. But he started hearting my pictures over and over. And Brandon was like, who is this dude? Why is he constantly on you? It's starting to get a little annoying. Like, I need you to check him. So I'm like, he's just, liking the pictures. I don't even
It didn't
know
weird
him,
you out?
I'm defensive. I'm not really paying no mind to it. It was just like, whatever. He's liking the fact that I'm keeping consistent with my fitness.
Okay.
Then he started liking other pictures.
Right.
Then he commented on one. Told me I was beautiful. Then it became a real conversation. And y'all, when Mr. Taylor gets mad, like, it's kind of scary. Like, because he really flips. So yeah, once he flipped, once he flipped, dude got blocked. He can't message, he can't see, he can't nothing, and it was real quick. So, but I had to slap my own self because how dare I try to defend a heart on a picture when I'm pissed when someone else does it to him. So I had to check myself. So. Boo, I'm sorry. But yeah, I was doing the double standard. I was not respecting the fact that I don't want this done, so why should I be okay with it on my page? Social media is real in relationships, whether y'all will admit it or not. It is real.
It's been fucking up relationships in the top 8.
Exactly.
Why am I number 3? What the fuck is that? Who is this bitch?
But that's my sister. For real,
when MySpace came out with like the top 30, unprofessional. No,
my bad.
No,
Casey in here fucking up.
Listen, it's a Monday. I'm supposed to listen.
When MySpace came out with that top 30, that was like every player saving grace. Like, look, you on there. Look, and you may be 22, but you're there.
I didn't pick the order, baby.
They just randomly
it's
put
in
them in
alphabetical order.
But how do y'all feel about the social media aspect?
I don't do well. Luckily, see, I think I'm only single person sitting here.
You are.
Yeah, look at God. That's rare. That's rare for me. I'm normally not single. I'm usually talking to somebody, but right now you caught me in a nice little
slide
down to me. I'm trying to get myself together. But the social media thing was never really a big player for me in my relationships until I started with Instagram. Now, IG, if you follow me on Snapchat or Instagram, I work out, and I love to work out. So I post pictures of me and my gym progress. Over the last year, I've lost about 46 pounds, something like that. So I've come
Congratulations.
Down. Thank you kindly. That became an issue with one of the young ladies I was talking to, especially because of the hearts and the.
But that's what you do, or is it like the heart eyes,
it's
the smiley face, or is it just liking the picture of the heart?
No, it's like really the emojis,
the heart
really
eyes.
on it.
Them heart eyes got me in trouble.
The words, there was always like, now you can put the little nice little greeting under it now. Like the people writing paragraphs. You look so good, yada, yada, yada. And she would come to me and be like, well, who is this? And who is that? And yada, yada. She wasn't even my girl. But I'm the type of guy, I'm like, well, this is this and this is this. I'm very straightforward with it. But she is also a fitness person. So she's in very good shape, too. And she has a bunch of guys, too.
So she gets the same
and
comments.
She would get very serious comments. Like, cats would be under her pictures, too. And I would ask, well, who's this? And she'd get very defensive. Mm-hmm. You know, like, oh, that's just a friend, and he's just this, and but when it's me, it's an issue. Delete that bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Block her. She don't need to talk to you. We weren't even together.
I'm guilty.
I block them myself. Like, you know what? Give me that phone. She ain't there. What happened to oh, that bitch had to go.
Yeah. So social media is one thing. I'm a DMs dude. What are the conversations? What are you talking about? When Cuz hits you up and he's like, hey, how you doing? Does it stay neutral? Why do you respond? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to know why. What's the purpose of even having a conversation back and forth for so long? Because eventually you start to see that drift and topic, and it gets serious. And it's 10, 11, 12, 1 in the morning. What the fuck you talking about? Like, right. What's going on, big head? Like, I'm big-headed a bunch of women.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? What's going on, big head?
Hey, big. I see
you still online.
What up, little ugly?
I see you still online. You know what I'm saying? What you doing up so late? And, you know, so I understand. I understand the game. I respect the game. But it's one of those, be very mindful how you move and operate on social media. And then if you're in a relationship, try not to get defensive about your partner having an issue. Like, don't, if it's a problem for me, it should be a problem for you. Because it's a problem for our relationship now. So.
Oh, that touches on trust. We're gonna have to do a double standard on trust, I think.
Because that's a whole new
episode.
That's gotta be an episode.
I got all kind of gems for that.
Because I get defensive. Because why are you questioning me? Do you not know my intent? Do you not know me? Do you not trust me? Like, you should know that, you know, even though you interpret it one way, I may not see it this way. Because
we can ask the exact same questions back.
I give people a lot of time. I'm told I'm naive because I may not see somebody coming at me because, I mean, that's the homie. And I mean, I didn't take it that way, but she'll read it and no, that's a slide.
That's what this is. Yeah.
That's a try. He's trying it or she's trying it or whomever the case is, you know, and I don't see it that way. And I don't know.
And it's not a bad thing.
And I'm
that's how
mad.
Brandon is. It could just be that you're just really not paying attention.
Right.
Because he, with that whole situation, he was like, I was like, why is she hiding? He was like, oh, I don't fucking know. He was, and that's exactly, he was like, I truly don't even pay attention. He was like, I couldn't even tell you how many times she likes a picture. He was like, because I don't even go and see who likes stuff.
But what if they'd like him like 20 pictures back to back, just hearts.
Brandon, number one, he's not big on social media at all. He's on there every now and then. If you look at his page, it's me tagging him and stuff. So with him, I wasn't mad at him at all.
When it come down to the teams.
I was completely mad at the girl because I saw what she was doing. Mm-hmm. He didn't see anything. Even with the conversation that they had. He was like, you know, whatever. You know, she knows I'm married. He was like, and I don't play that shit. That's one thing I can't say. The man is loyal to a fault. Like, he's truly loyal. And he'll tell somebody quick, like, nah, my wife ain't gonna be cool with that. So, yeah, no. But I saw her. And so with your wife, it may not even be you. We can just see what this person's intention really is. No, men can see it too, because he saw the little fitness man on my page. But when it comes to your own self and you're really just not paying attention, you know, it's just kind of like whatever. But if your partner mentions it, it's serious. Like, it's for real serious. And it's bothering them, so now it should bother you.
It should be addressed, yeah.
As soon as I asked him to block her, it was done. Like, right at that second. He didn't question it.
You can't ask questions.
All right,
that's the request.
He was like, all right. And he was like, all right, she's gone. And it was done. It was over. And I inboxed her, and I told her, you're blocked now, but it's because of your disrespect.
So what if it's not a random? What if this is someone that they know? Do you just block them? Is there any explanation?
He's blocked some people he's known.
Yeah, but I said once you go disrespectful, there's no other conversation that needs to be had.
So what if it's a misunderstanding now? What if it's not just blatant disrespect? It was something that was interpreted one way, which was not intended that way. Is this a point where you have conversation, or you just block and say bye?
You definitely have conversation first and discuss. And if you both come to the agreement that it's something that, you know, you can do without to save face of your relationship, because at the end of the day, that's what matters.
Right.
These outside people don't matter.
No.
I could lose. My best friend could stop talking to me tomorrow, and guess what? I still have my husband. And so that's just the way that I look at it. If he told me that he felt my best friend was disrespectful and he didn't want me fucking with this person no more because he felt disrespected, guess what? Mr. Taylor comes first.
So what if it's you and I? We have several business relationships and things going.
Guess what?
You have
to go. But the thing is if anybody ever disrespects my husband, family, friend, whatever, is go time for me. So you wouldn't want to be my friend no more.
We knocking out?
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be my friend no more. I'm truly disrespectful.
We would have to.
I'm not a disrespectful individual, but I have to ask these things because when you're in the workplace and things like that, situations occur.
Right.
And depending on what it is, it could be something as innocent as, oh, I had a dream about you. I don't know what it is, but I mean, certain things can be implied. You can take it a certain way. Spouses can get involved, read a text message, something's not right. I've had a friend go through this, and it's really something innocent, but you've read it and misinterpreted it one way, and now this big fiasco and ordeal. So where do we draw the line?
Communication.
Yeah.
I guess and women were bad.
Look at what was that face?
Because that I had a dream about you shit. If it ain't anything other than we went to McDonald's or some just most regular, even if it's just you.
But what
if
she didn't ask? She didn't ask.
They just introduced.
I had a dream about you. Oh, okay. I don't even want to know.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, once you are bringing it into effect that, oh, I had a dream about you. So the next thing is, so what was the dream? And then you hear the dream. That's introducing the thought of what it could possibly be. Because again, if I have a regular. I done had dreams about everybody in this room right now. Right. But there's no reason to bring it up because it's either something doing with beat.
That's true.
Or us with smoking. Something. You know what I'm saying? But if it's some extra shit, you know, I had a dream about you the other day.
I can see his face right now.
You know what I'm saying? And obviously what comes after that is this, that, and the third was going on. So you can't control having, you know, a sexual thought about somebody, especially if they're attractive. But as soon as you're trying to introduce that thought to somebody else, now you're being a little conniving. Now you're trying to be, you know, okay, you're trying to sneak in there to see, oh, well, I've had a dream about you too. did you?
What we gonna do about that?
Let's make these dreams
Let's
realities.
entertain that.
Dream chasers, Meek Mill. Like it instantly goes there.
Bottom line, keep y'all dreams to yourselves.
But with social media, I forgot. I realized I didn't even say anything about it. Honestly, and it's happened before. I've been cheated on right in front of my face just because of Facebook. But I'm so oblivious to social media. I hate social media. If I didn't have Beat, I wouldn't have a Facebook page. Just being completely honest. My MySpace page was created by my cousin because we were dealing with our music.
You still don't have an Instagram page.
Still don't have an Instagram
still trying
page.
To get you to
my
get
Twitter was created by
page.
somebody else. Like I don't fuck with social media at all. So when it comes down to the likes and stuff like that, it could be niggas in her comments talking about some dick you down left and right. I would be completely oblivious to it.
They just gonna post the eggplant. They ain't gonna say
or an eggplant, exactly. I would be completely oblivious to it because I don't fuck with social media like that. So
my wife isn't connected. She's not on.
And it's definitely to a fault because when I see how serious it's taken, I don't understand it. I'm like, what are you
it's
tripping
just
out
social
for?
media.
It's Facebook.
Right,
but
exactly.
As I hear more about it and how, serious it's taken, I'm like, okay.
People do take it really seriously.
Exactly.
Even just from like they have the new feature where, in the messaging threads or even on the post, you can press and hold and you get the heart eyes or you can cry about it or you can be angry, showing all these emotions. So I'm really loose with my fingers, I guess, and I love things. It's the easiest way to just like something. It's equivalent to double tapping on Instagram to me, but that can be so misinterpreted. Don't like the wrong picture. Like there was a stud and I like to picture hands in the pants. She don't have no dick. What is she holding on to? But that was it wasn't even my wife. Somebody, an outsider. Well, why is she liking this picture? And this is somebody I've known since middle school. Old friend, but social media, that's what it's there for. Are you not supposed to like the shit? Exactly. Is there a limit?
Yeah. But I guess it depends on what will bother your partner, male or female. Like, I think you just have to really think, and it sucks you got to think so hard on social media.
That's crazy.
But you just really have to think, if they saw that I hearted this, how would it make them feel? Even though I'm hearting it because I just genuinely really like the picture.
Or I'm happy for them.
Exactly.
But
you still, so I just stick with the thumbs up unless I'm putting an angry face or a laugh. I just leave the heart alone unless I'm hearting like my mom's stuff or my sister's stuff or like y'all stuff. I'm allowed to do that. But randoms? Nope. Not hearting your stuff, guys. Not gonna happen.
No way this
Thumbs
can be
up for me.
misinterpreted. That's smart. I mean, when in doubt, take the safe route, right?
Yep, stick to the way it used to be. Thumbs up was perfectly fine before on Facebook. Ain't nothing wrong with thumbs up and just.
But even that used to get motherfuckers in trouble. So why you liking this bitch's
picture? But now that the hearts took over,
the hearts are so
you're
extra.
Safe with the thumbs up.
I kind of feel like
it's better to like than love.
It's a setup no matter what.
It's just a setup no matter what. You better just scroll past. Oh, that's pretty. Scroll. So get as far away from that post as possible.
Before we wrap up the show, I do want to touch on one kind of serious topic, and that is rape. I do feel like there is a double standard in that majorly. I think that men aren't really able to cry rape as much as women are. I think they kind of keep it to themselves and keep it pushing. Now, there's women that do that too. However, if they do, it's taken for, she's a woman, so it had to happen.
Or she's lying.
Or that too.
She's lying.
But with men, if he was to, let's say this man is like 6'5" and the woman's your size.
You can't rape
and
him.
He's like, I was raped. And they're looking like, how?
Drugs.
She didn't rape you. Look at her size.
I mean, they have drugs and stuff. She can incapacitate him and take advantage of him.
But I'm saying, in the world, in the society we live in, that's really, to me, how it is. So that's my opinion on that. I feel like men don't really get to address like situations where they were taken advantage of. Because, number one, they feel like they're not really a man if this happened.
This woman
and they don't
raped
want to tell. They don't want their boys to find out or whatever the case may be. And I feel bad because I know some guys that have been in some situations. And this was even when we were younger. And they told me stories. And I asked them why. Well, I've never told anyone. Why?
Because how do you say as a man, I've been raped, this woman took advantage of me? Is that something you would be comfortable coming out and saying she took
or
my
even
shit?
A man, exactly.
Oh,
a man
yes,
took
men
when I was
can
younger.
A lot of cats go
yes.
years without admitting to being molested as children and stuff like that. So
Yeah. That's true. I didn't think of it that way, but that's very true.
For sure. And women, sometimes we hold on to it for a long time, especially if it's, and I'm just going to kind of go there, if it's stuff that happened with your own family members that did certain, that goes on a lot, and it is swept under the rug, especially in our families. Like, they know, but they don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And so, as far as for what happened with me, I held on to it forever. I want to say my husband was the first person that I told who and when. Other than that, only my mom and those people involved and my dad knew exactly what took place. But, yeah. I mean, for me to tell them, or for, like, when it happened, they were, addressing it. But my thing is what happened to them prior to them doing this, these young boys? What was done to them, and did they ever talk about it? Because men never really get to talk about it. Young boys never really get to talk about it because they're told to be a man up, deal with it, and move through life.
And I feel guilty. I think there's a lot of guilt that's associated with this because I'm supposed to be this man. I'm supposed to be this strong, masculine individual. How could I allow this to happen to me? Why didn't I defend myself? Why didn't I fight back? And they feel like maybe their masculinity has been compromised and taken. I don't know, fellas. What do you think? Y'all quiet on this one.
My silence is just to give y'all time. I don't want to absorb everything that you're saying. I'm a victim of molestation as a kid. And that happened in my family, my mother's cousin, So that for a long time was something I never talked about until I got into my counseling. And that was once I got into the military, So I was able to finally, in my 20s, talk about something that happened to me when I was 6 years old. You know what I'm saying? So that's one piece of that. So I connect. I'm cool now. I'm very open. I do a lot of public speaking. I share my story. It's my testimony. So I like to share it just so people know you're not alone in this.
Right.
And then the other side of it, now, men, especially you look at guys like us, we're frat boys. So I like to say we put ourselves in certain parties, there's certain situations, scenarios where things happen. And I know personally 2 or 3 frat brothers that have had situations, circumstances where young ladies have kind of taken advantage of them, whether they were intoxicated or we had went to a party and it just, the occasional dick grab just happens. You know what I'm saying? If you got on the gray sweats or the blue sweats, whatever you got on, the dick grab happens. You get touched. We usually have our shirts off. You're going to get touched. People are going to touch you, and it's one of those things that everybody's not always comfortable with.
Right.
A lot of people think it's funny, especially when you're in undergrad. They think it's hilarious that, we kind of put ourselves out there. We're strolling, party walking, whatever you want to call it. They think they can touch you and feel on you and grab you. So I've just kind of grew up now where now I don't like to be touched. Don't touch me, especially kind of like branded on my arm. People like to walk up in the grocery store and touch me. Like,
yeah,
even
that's so fascinating.
Even something as small as that makes me uncomfortable. So going as far as the rape topic, I know a couple guys that have been in certain situations where things have happened and gone down the next day. They weren't aware of. They didn't know who the young lady was. Unprotected. You know what I'm saying? Nothing that they wanted to happen, but they didn't talk to everybody. It's just more our core group, and together we help support them through those things. But
so does having a support system and the counseling, all of that, does it help?
Absolutely. Being able to get it off your chest. It may not fix the situation. You may not have the desire to go address that person, but just something that's going to get off your chest. And the more you talk about it, at least for me, the easier it is now to have conversations. Now it's like I'm talking about anything else in my life.
Right.
But when I first started, only person that knew what had happened to me was Carlos. Okay. I shared everything about my situation with him and vice versa. I think that's why we've been friends almost 15 years.
I would never understand how everybody calls me Los outside of the mic and then get on the mic and drop the government. I've never got that.
I say Big Los,
I
big
call
Los.
you Capone,
Big
Los,
Los.
Carlos, hey, my
Everything.
brother, whatever.
thing.
Skylos, we were one thing, so, but that was what was really helpful for me is having my brother to lean on, and he's smart as hell. He's one of those people that when you need a good word, Los know what to say to get you out that dark place. I don't know where he gets the gift from, but I'm thankful, you know what I'm saying?
If I ain't got nothing to say, I'll be like, I just rolled up.
Hit
This
that
is
shit.
true. We elevate. We elevate when we can't have a
I got some
conversation.
Henny over here.
Exactly. Some
You're
Henny on
welcome.
tap.
If the person does not say no, is it still rape? Does that mean that they wanted it because they did not say no?
I can answer that by saying, are any of Cosby's victims? the same way because he gave them Quaaludes. I'm sure they was with it once the Quaaludes got popped. I was in a position that I couldn't
Bill
consent.
Cosby's so touchy.
I'm like,
me.
can we just not
Bill
talk
Cosby's
about
so touchy
because-
for me because it's a
But
valid
it's real,
topic
though.
because
No, like,
40
for
years
real.
later, if they come out later and say, okay, I was raped, is it valid? Do you take it seriously
But my
because they
thing
waited
is
so long?
Why did it take you so long? I mean, I understand everybody grieves different, but all of y'all took the same amount of time to come forward.
Well, maybe
Get
they
the
thought it
fuck
wasn't
outta here.
going to be
Person
believed.
Sorry, shoot me, but that's how I feel about it.
But how do you come against Bill Cosby, this huge guy, and say, and then you're the only one? So maybe they felt a sense of security now that they had other women coming forward saying, this happened to me. Maybe they feel now that it'll be
now
more
that
credible.
he's old, now that his show's over, now that he's on his way out.
I think the only I look at the 40 or whatever number it was, and I just think, okay, some of y'all are trying to capitalize.
Yes,
the
absolutely.
the one that I ultimately pay attention to where my opinion of Cosby changed was the one that was featured in the deposition, where they asked Cosby, "Have you given women Quaaludes against their knowledge?" And he said yes. Did you do this with the intent to have sex? His lawyer cut him off and wouldn't let him answer, and then that case ended in a settlement. I'm like,
Right.
okay, that's a rapist.
That's exactly
that guy raped her.
He is not. He's definitely guilty of some things. All
Yeah, he's
things
not
that
innocent.
are being. Not all, but I think
Some
for
of
the
them are
most
before a
part,
check,
the
for
real
sure.
legit ones that didn't even want to have this big trial, more so just wanted to have him admit it. There was one girl that just wanted him to admit that he did this, and once he admitted, she was good. She was absolutely good. She was like, I just wanted you to admit this and actually own up to it. She still, of course, got paid because he wanted to make sure she kept her silence.
Right.
But the story, of course, it gets out.
Right. All
But
the
her
time.
name was never disclosed. She never went and talked to news reporters or nothing like that, but the story was talked about. And so I'm not discounting what the man is. And to answer your question, if you don't have the ability to say no, and you're still unaware of the situation and you're drugged or drunk or whatever, that is still rape.
So what if you're
Right.
not unaware of the situation? What if it's just, some people are
fearful.
You're
and
right.
they
You're
just are
incapacitated.
completely-
You can't say
Exactly.
anything. You shut down.
I feel like every situation is different. However, if there is a sense of guilt after you do it, and then with the person, if they're hurt after you do it,
Right.
something went wrong.
Right.
It wasn't the way it was supposed to be. When I was young and molested, I didn't say no because I didn't know this was wrong.
Right.
And so when it happened, it just kind of happened.
But did you feel something was off about it? How did you know that this is not right?
I was so young, I did not know what sex was. So when these things are taking place, this is so brand new to me. So as a person as young as I was, I don't even think I was in school yet. I was so young. There was no emotion at that moment, but I know it affected me throughout life.
Yeah.
And it caused a lot of issues until I learned to process what happened,
Right.
forgive them,
Right.
and talk about it to somebody.
Right.
After that happened, then I was good. But it took me a very long time to talk about it because of who it was. And I didn't want to discredit these people as,
Right.
being good people.
Right.
So I kept it to myself. But I think men, they keep it to themselves for a different reason. They don't want to be looked at as less of a man, especially if they were molested by another man.
Yeah, that's tough.
They're not really going to speak out on that. And it's hard. And you kind of have to force them, in a sense, to talk about it. Mm-hmm. And so I'm definitely glad, whatever happened, that you got counseling because it helps. There are a lot of men I know that are holding on to this. That's why I wanted to make this last because I wanted to more so put it out there that men, like, for real, talk about it. Because I think a lot of you that are out there trying to play so hard in life and are afraid to be vulnerable and are afraid to be that good man, it's because something happened to you. And I'm only saying this because of some of the dudes I've talked to that have had this happen are super macho, thugged out, fuck that bitch and all that stuff. Cut it out because that's not really you. You're playing this super hard role because you got that thought in the back of your head that, well, this happened to me, so I got to show that I am a man. That's not proving you're a man. To me, you're a bitch.
No, you got to deal with your issues. You have
to deal with your issues because a real man deals with his issues.
Well, even women too, because women don't deal with them either. Let's just not
They
put it all
don't.
on men. I asked these questions because I had a situation and I did not say no, but it's not something that I wanted. You're just supposed to come over and kick it, and you force yourself on me, and you leave, and you say, your friends don't need to know what happened, but what had just happened here, you know, and it just wasn't right. But it's hard to talk about. And a lot of people feel like, oh, well, you didn't say no, so you wanted it, so it's discredited. Or it's just something that you can't talk about. You bottle it in, and it does cause other issues, even with molestation. Some people are hypersexual individuals because they've been through these experiences and don't even recognize it. What's that book? They made a movie, Addicted? And it was because she was molested as a child. And a lot of people don't understand why they are the way that they are, or why they're so hostile, or they have this built-up aggression, or why they feel certain ways about women, men, things like that. And it's because of these unresolved underlying issues that haven't been addressed.
Well, I definitely appreciate all of you guys' input. Sorry we had to get so deep towards the end, but I just felt like it was something that really needed to be talked about. I told you guys, we'll have fun, we'll laugh, we'll talk about sex, but at the end of the day, this show is still about education. So, thanks, you guys, for coming on.
You.
I appreciate you so much.
Thank you for having us.
With them sexy voices.
Right.
I'm going to get back and be hype on the Noize later. Nigga, let me...
Please check out the Noize. Also,
Absolutely.
the rest of our Beat Network family. Unless you want to go ahead and tell them where to find you, get your plug.
Oh, yeah, of course. At Big Los, UTC on Twitter. You can find me on Snapchat as well, Big Los. Probably got to cipher through a bunch of Mexicans, but trust me, I'm in there. I'll be the one black one. Facebook, of course, you can follow me on there. At Beat Network on Twitter. At Beat_Network on Instagram. Facebook.com/BeatNetwork1. Follow all the Beat Network sites and check out all the shows, of course.
Subscribe.
Definitely.
50 Shades.
On Snapchat, it's Hot Sensation. Sensation spelled S-I-N. Sation. On IG, it's Sky Ward, SKYWARD. And then on Facebook, it's Skyler Dominic Ward, because that's my real name. I move professionally through life as a poet, also known as Lost Thoughts. And that's how you can find me as well. If you go on Amazon, I have a book out. So
I was just going to ask, where can they find your book? Where can they find your book?
Please buy the book.
What's the name of the book?
The book is called Before They Silence Me. It's on Amazon. You can also get it on Kindle. So the author on there is Lost Thoughts, because I use that name so I don't have anything mess up my professional life. So check it out. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. So much.
All right. Well, until the next time, you guys, thank you so much for spending time with us, Pillow Talkers. And I'm out.